At exactly 11:42 p.m., the door refused to open for him. Tyler had one hand on the handle and one on his phone, acting like I was overreacting. I stepped between him and the hallway and pressed the metal deadbolt down. It did not budge. The reservation under Hannah Reed, room 614, corporate account, meant any incident would be logged before sunrise. Security's voice came through the radio outside. "We need Tyler Grant's full name for the report." The air conditioner rattled above the window. Rain streaked sideways across the glass. My suitcase lay open on the luggage rack, conference binder half-zipped, a stamped envelope from my company resting on the desk beside my badge. I didn't know it yet. But this wasn't a relationship argument. It was about who was allowed to sign my name. Tyler laughed softly and tapped the handle again. "Relax," he said. "The latch sticks." He tried it a third time, slower, like he was proving something. The metal did not click. I watched his reflection in the elevator mirror down the hall, visible through the crack of the door. He adjusted his collar and smoothed his hair with his palm. He looked calm, too calm. I stepped back and checked my phone. 11:43 p.m. I checked it again. Same numbers. I always check timestamps twice. The hallway carpet smelled like detergent and airport coffee. My flight to Chicago had been delayed 12 hours because of the storm. I had rebooked twice. My supervisor expected me at a client breakfast at 8 a.m. sharp. If security logged a disturbance under my reservation, that breakfast would not matter. Tyler slid his phone into his jacket pocket. "You forgot to secure it," he said, nodding at the lock. "I was just leaving." He moved closer to the door again. I placed my hand flat against the wood. "Stop," I said. His jaw tightened for half a second. Then he smiled again. Down the hallway, I heard the soft crackle of a radio. "Room 614. Confirm the guest inside," a male voice said. Tyler leaned toward the peephole. "See? You're making this weird." The stamped envelope on the desk caught my eye. Corporate letterhead. My name printed clean and centered. If something was filed tonight, it would follow me back to Denver. I picked up the envelope and slid it into my tote bag. Just in case. He turned the handle again, harder this time. The latch scraped, but the deadbolt did not shift. "You locked it from the inside," I said. He shrugged. "You're the one who panicked." I stepped to the side table and pressed the hotel phone button for the front desk. My finger hovered, then pressed. The line rang, once. Outside, footsteps approached. Slow, deliberate. A knock sounded, firm and even. "Security," the voice said. "We need identification from Tyler Grant." Tyler looked at me, and for the first time, his smile didn't reach his eyes. The elevator down the hall chimed. Officer Renee Clark had a clipped tone and steady eyes. She stood beside hotel security, hand near her radio. Tyler stepped out first, shoulders loose. Like this was a joke. I followed behind him, gripping my tote bag strap until my knuckles hurt. The elevator mirror caught all of us at once. Tyler fixed his collar again. I checked my phone. 11:48 p.m., I checked again. Same numbers. "You two need to come downstairs," the security supervisor said. His name tag read Daniel Ruiz. He held a thin printed sheet, still warm from the machine. The doors opened into the lobby. The night clerk looked up from the desk. A front desk supervisor stood beside her, tense, hands clasped. A traveler couple sat on a sofa with a plastic bag of snacks between them, pretending not to listen. Tyler walked straight to the counter and leaned in. "She locked me in," he said, loud enough for everyone. That's what happened. I felt the heat rise behind my ears. I set my tote bag on the edge of the counter and unzipped it. My stamped envelope brushed my fingers. I left it inside and pulled out my phone instead, screen facing down. "Mr." Ruiz lifted his palm, calm and flat. "Sir," he said, "nobody's accusing anyone yet." Tyler's eyes flicked to me. His smile came back. "She's making this up. She's always dramatic and confused." The traveler couple looked up at the same time. The night clerk went still, like she was holding her breath. The front desk supervisor swallowed hard. I turned my phone over and tapped the record icon. My thumb shook once, then steadied. "Say it once more." "On record." Tyler's smile faltered. He glanced at Officer Clark, then at the lobby camera dome above the potted plant. Officer Clark nodded toward my phone. You can record, she said. Keep it pointed down. Tyler's voice got softer. I'm not doing anything wrong. Mr. Ruiz slid the printed sheet across the counter toward Officer Clark. It was a security log, black ink on white paper, cut clean at the edges. He anchored it with 2 fingers so it would not curl. Here's the key access, he said. Room 614. Officer Clark traced a line with her pen cap. 11:42 p.m., she read. Entry accepted. I leaned forward. The paper smelled like toner. Next to the time was a code string and a note. Door opened. Tyler shrugged, like he had expected this. Yeah, he said. Because she let me in. That is not what your story was, Officer Clark said. Tyler spread his hands wide. I said she trapped me, he replied. She did. The lock jammed. You all saw it. The front desk supervisor cleared his throat. Ma'am, he said to me, voice thin, are you the registered guest? Yes, I said. Hannah Reed. I took out my wallet and slid my identification card onto the counter. My corporate card sat behind it, edge peeking out. I hated that it was visible. Officer Clark picked up my identification card, looked at it, then placed it down again with care. She turned to Tyler. Sir, your full legal name, she said. Tyler sighed, like she was wasting his time. Tyler Grant, he said. Date of birth, she added. He hesitated, just a beat. Then he answered. I noticed the way his eyes moved before he spoke, like he was searching for the right version. Officer Clark wrote it down. Mr. Ruiz shifted his weight and pointed at the log again. Also, he said, the deadbolt issue is separate, but access is access. Tyler leaned in, voice turning sharp. So what now? He asked. You're going to punish me for visiting my girlfriend? The word girlfriend hit my chest like a thrown coin. I opened my mouth, then shut it. I could feel every witness in that lobby watching my reaction, waiting for me to confirm his label. Officer Clark looked at me instead of him. Did you invite him into your room? She asked. I picked up my phone and turned the screen toward her. My call log was open. 2 missed calls from Tyler. 1 from earlier, 1 from 10 minutes ago. I did not scroll too fast. I did not narrate it. I just held it there. No, I said. Tyler laughed once. It sounded practiced. She's lying, he said. She's embarrassed. The traveler couple shifted closer together. The night clerk stared at the keyboard, fingers hovering above it, not typing. Officer Clark lifted her chin. Mr. Grant, she said, you're going to step back from the counter. Tyler leaned away, slow, palms up, like he was performing calm. Mr. Ruiz moved half a step, putting his body between Tyler and me. Officer Clark turned the log so I could see it clearly. She tapped the same line again. 11:42 p.m., she said. That is a successful entry. I stared at the numbers. Then I stared at the smaller text printed to the right. Encoded by, it read, followed by a name. Marcus Hill. Marcus Hill. The name sat there like a loose screw on a tile floor. I stared at it, then at Officer Renee Clark's pen, then at Tyler's face. Tyler blinked once. Too slow. Like he was buying time. Mr. Ruiz cleared his throat. Marcus is our front desk supervisor tonight, he said. He is the one who can pull the full audit. Officer Clark turned her head toward the desk. Is Marcus here? The front desk supervisor's shoulders tightened. He's on break, she said. Too fast. I checked my phone. 12:03 a.m. I checked again. Same numbers. The traveler couple stood up, pretending they had somewhere to be. Their snack bag crinkled loud in the quiet. Tyler leaned toward me, voice soft enough to feel private. Stop doing this, he said. You're making it bigger. I slid my phone into my tote bag and gripped the strap. My stamped envelope pressed against my wrist through the fabric. Mr. Ruiz tapped the paper log with 2 fingers. The system writes who encoded the credential, he said. It does not guess. Officer Clark looked at Tyler again. Mr. Grant, how do you know Marcus Hill? Tyler let out a breath like he was bored. I don't, he said. I don't know any of these people. The front desk supervisor's eyes flicked to the camera dome above the potted plant. Then away. Officer Clark held her posture steady. Then we will ask Marcus, she said. Mr. Ruiz nodded at the elevator. I can bring him down, he said. He started walking. I followed without thinking, like my feet had already decided. Tyler trailed behind us, close enough that I could smell his cologne over the lobby's lemon cleaner. In the elevator, the mirror threw us back at ourselves. Tyler watched our reflections more than he watched me. He kept his chin level, expression practiced, like he was posing for a picture nobody asked for. I swallowed and pressed my tongue to the back of my teeth. This was the flip. I felt it before I could name it. The mirror wasn't showing me a boyfriend anymore. It was showing me a man rehearsing a story. Highlight line. The mirror showed him practicing innocence, not feeling it. The elevator opened on the second floor. The hallway was empty, except for a housekeeping cart parked sideways, towels stacked like bricks. Mr. Ruiz knocked on a staff door. A pause, then a second knock. Marcus Hill opened it with a paper cup in his hand. He looked 20-something, tired, hair flattened on one side like he had been leaning against something. His eyes went to Officer Clark's uniform, then to Tyler. "Is everything okay?" Marcus asked. Officer Clark kept her voice calm. "We need the room access audit for room 614, she said. "And we need to understand why your name is on the encoding line." Marcus frowned. "My name is on what?" "Mr." Ruiz held up the printed log so Marcus could see it. Marcus leaned in, cup still in his hand, and his face changed. Not guilt. Recognition. He set the cup down on the housekeeping cart. His hand shook just enough to ripple the coffee. "I didn't encode anything for that room," Marcus said. Tyler laughed once. "Sharp. Come on," he said. "This is ridiculous." Officer Clark lifted her palm. "Sir, stop talking," she said. "You will get your turn." Tyler's mouth tightened. He looked past her, down the hallway, like he was measuring exits. Marcus swallowed. "I mean," he corrected, voice quieter. "I didn't encode it tonight." "Mr." Ruiz's eyebrows rose. "What do you mean, not tonight?" Marcus rubbed his forehead with the heel of his hand. "A few weeks ago," he said, "a guy came down here. Said he lost his key. Said he was locked out and his girlfriend was asleep. I felt my stomach drop. Not as a feeling, but as a physical thing. Like an elevator cable went slack." Marcus kept going, words tumbling now. "He had her name," Marcus said. "He had the room number. He even knew the corporate rate code. He said he couldn't wake her because she had an early flight." Tyler's eyes cut to Marcus. Hard. Warning. Officer Clark's pen moved. "Did you make him a key?" Marcus flinched. "I followed policy," he said, like he had said it before. "He showed me a picture of them together. And he had a credit card with the same last name." I snapped my tote bag zipper closed. Too loud. My stamped envelope crinkled inside. "No," I said before I could stop myself. "My last name is Reed." Marcus blinked, caught. He said. He looked at Tyler, then away. Tyler stepped forward, hands open, voice smooth again. "This is insane," he said. I showed him a photo. "That's it." It was a misunderstanding. Officer Clark's gaze stayed locked on him. "A misunderstanding that created unauthorized access," she said. "Mr." Ruiz's phone buzzed in his hand. He looked down and his expression tightened. "Officer," he said, turning the screen toward her. "There's something else." He tilted it so I could see, too. It was a social media post. My name was not tagged. But the wording felt like a finger pointed at my face. The text was blurry, except for one readable line, centered and bold like a headline. Highlight line, his post said, "She trapped me in room 614. Officer Clark took the phone from Mr. Daughter. Ruiz scrolled with her thumb, slow and careful. Under the post, comments stacked like a pile of stones. Laughing faces. Accusations. A few people asking for the hotel name. Tyler's voice went cold. "Give me that," he said. Officer Clark held it out of his reach. "No," she said. "Not now." My phone vibrated in my tote bag. I pulled it out, and there it was on my screen too. A message from an unknown number. One short line. With a timestamp. "Check your email. You just got blamed." We rode the elevator back down in silence. The mirror threw Tyler's face at me again, smooth and composed, like he could edit the night by acting calm. Officer Renee Clark stood between us, body angled to block him from crowding me. My phone buzzed twice in my tote bag. I did not answer it yet. In the lobby, a different shift had started. A pilot in a wrinkled uniform asked for towels. A little kid ran in socks, sliding on the tile. Life kept moving like nothing was wrong. Tyler leaned toward the counter again, voice honeyed. "Can we just go?" he said. "This is embarrassing." "Mr." Ruiz kept his palm flat on the counter, steady. "Not until we finish the report," he said. I checked my phone. 19 inches the morning. I checked again. Same numbers. Officer Clark asked me to stand closer to the wall, near a brochure rack. I pressed my back to it and gripped the edge of my tote bag. Inside, the stamped envelope crinkled against my wrist. Tyler watched me like I was the one being unreasonable. The front desk supervisor opened a drawer and pulled out a blank form, then slid it toward Officer Clark with a pen. The pen rolled once and stopped. "Mr." Ruiz placed the security log beside it. He pointed to the 11:42 p.m. line again, like he needed the paper to keep everyone honest. Officer Clark wrote without rushing. "Ms. Reed," she said. "Confirm your room number." 614, I said. Tyler exhaled, loud, and shook his head. "She is twisting this," he said. I tried to leave. The door jammed. Now she's doing whatever this is. Officer Clark did not look up. "Stop," she said, clipped. "You're not directing this." Highlight line. He kept talking like words could change timestamps. My phone lit up again, bright against my palm. An email preview slid across the screen. Sender. My corporate travel coordinator. Subject line, in plain text. Incident reported at airport hotel. I felt my throat tighten. Not from emotion. From the knowledge that this was now in a system I could not charm. I turned the screen away from Tyler and tapped it open. The email was short. It referenced my reservation. It referenced guest complaint. It asked for a call first thing in the morning. I closed it and tucked the phone back into my tote bag, like hiding it could slow it down. Tyler noticed anyway. "Oh," he said, eyebrows lifting. "You ran to your job." "Of course." "Mr." Ruiz's eyes flicked to me, sympathetic but careful. He had the look of someone who needed this to end quietly. "Ms. Reed," he said, lowering his voice. "We can document it and move on. You can request a room change. We can comp something. This does not have to be dramatic." Tyler smiled at that, like Mr. Ruiz had just joined his team. Officer Clark paused her writing and looked up. "Comping does not solve unauthorized access," she said. The front desk supervisor swallowed. "We are overbooked," she said. "Because of the storm." Officer Clark nodded once, like she already knew. "Then we document it correctly," she said. "Mr." Ruiz handed Officer Clark a second printout, pulled fresh from the back office. I watched him pinch the corner, careful not to smudge it. It had the hotel logo at the top and a block of small text below. "Incident report draft," he said. "Standard." Officer Clark scanned it, then wrote something at the top with deliberate strokes. A number. She tore off the carbon copy and slid it into a clear sleeve. Then she held the sleeve up so I could see it. "This is the incident number," she said. "You will reference it with your employer and the hotel." I leaned in. The plastic sleeve squeaked under my fingers. The number was long enough to feel permanent. Tyler's eyes flicked to it too, and his jaw tightened again. He did not like anything that could be repeated later. Officer Clark turned her body slightly, blocking the sleeve from him. "Mr. Grant," she said. "I need you to confirm your date of birth again." Tyler blinked. "I already did." "Confirm it," she repeated. He said it. Slower this time. Like he was walking on a thin plank. Officer Clark stepped away from the counter and spoke quietly into her radio, back turned to us. Her tone was neutral, but her posture was not. "Mr." Ruiz shifted his weight and cleared his throat. Tyler leaned toward me, low and tight. "You think this makes you safe," he whispered. "It doesn't." I slid my stamped envelope deeper into my tote bag and tightened the strap around my wrist. Officer Clark came back to the counter. She did not look at me first. She looked at Tyler. Then she tapped the clear sleeve with the incident number and said, "Mr. Grant, stay right here." Her radio crackled once. A voice answered, flat and official. "Confirmed. That name has an active warrant." The lobby got quiet in a way that felt staged. Like the building itself was listening. Officer Renee Clark held her radio close to her shoulder. Tyler stood at the counter with his hands open, palms up, still performing calm. "Mr." Ruiz stayed half a step between us, eyes flicking from Tyler to the cameras. A guest in a rain-soaked hoodie slowed near the doors. Two flight attendants paused by the snack rack. The night clerk pretended to type, but her screen did not change. Officer Clark looked at Tyler. "Do not move," she said. Tyler gave a small laugh. "For what?" he asked, loud. "For trying to leave a room with a broken lock?" He turned his head toward the strangers near the doors, like he wanted an audience. "She trapped me," he said again. "Now she's calling the police." My tote bag strap bit into my wrist. The stamped envelope inside crinkled when I tightened my grip. Highlight line. He wanted witnesses, not truth. Officer Clark kept her voice flat. "This is not about the lock," she said. "This is about your name." Tyler's eyes narrowed. "My name is Tyler Grant." "Mr." Ruiz shifted and slid the clear sleeve with the incident number closer to Officer Clark, like he was handing her a tool. The plastic squeaked against the counter. Officer Clark tapped the sleeve once. "This report is already created," she said. "You do not get to out-talk a record." Tyler leaned in anyway, pushing his words into the space. "You're really going to do this?" he said to me. "At a hotel? In front of people?" I did not answer him. I pulled my phone out and held it low, screen down, thumb hovering. My corporate travel email was still sitting there like a bruise. Outside, headlights cut through the rain. Blue light flashed once, then again, bouncing off the glass doors and spilling into the lobby. A second officer walked in, rain dripping from the brim of his hat. He nodded to Officer Clark, then looked at Tyler. "Sir," he said, "turn around and place your hands behind your back." Tyler took a half step back, disbelief turning sharp. "You've got the wrong person," he said. "This is insane." Officer Clark did not raise her voice. "You can explain after," she said. Tyler's gaze snapped to me, and I saw it now. Not fear. Calculation. He tried to make his face soft, wounded, innocent. "Tell them," he said. "Tell them this is a mistake." I swallowed once and reached into my tote bag. My fingers brushed the stamped envelope, then the edge of the clear sleeve Officer Clark had shown me earlier. I did not pull the envelope out. I pulled out my phone instead and opened the photo I had saved 10 minutes ago. The blurry post. One readable line, centered like a headline. "She trapped me in room 614. I turned the screen toward Officer Clark. I did not say anything. I just held it steady. The second officer glanced at it, then at Tyler. Tyler's lips parted, but no sound came out. "Mr. Ruiz cleared his throat, voice tight. "We have the access audit saved," he said, "and the incident number is already assigned." The night clerk finally stopped pretending. She looked up and watched. The traveler couple from earlier had come back down, standing near the luggage carts like they were waiting for a shuttle. They stared openly now. Officer Clark nodded once, small and final. "Sir," she said to Tyler, "you posted a public accusation during an active investigation." Tyler jerked his chin toward me. "Because she did it," he snapped. She jammed the door. "Ask anyone." "Mr." Ruiz lifted the security log again, paper held at the top like a fragile thing. "The system shows entry accepted," he said. "The door did not invite you." Tyler's shoulders tensed. He looked toward the doors, toward the rain, toward anywhere that was not a counter with paper and cameras. The second officer stepped closer. Tyler's wrists went behind his back, his jacket bunching at the shoulders as the officer guided his hands into place. A small sound came from Tyler then, a breath that was almost a laugh, almost a curse. Blue light flashed again across the tile. It made everyone look washed out and honest. Highlight line, blue light turned his smile into a mask. Officer Clark leaned in toward the second officer and spoke low. I caught only one phrase, "Confirm the warrant details." The second officer nodded and looked at his device. His brow creased, then lifted. He looked at Tyler again, slower this time, like he was reading him from the inside out. "Sir," he said, "this warrant is not under Tyler Grant." Tyler went still. The officer read the name aloud, clear enough for the whole lobby. "It's under Tyler James Garner." When the officer said, "Tyler James Garner," the air changed. Tyler's head jerked up, eyes wide for the first time. He opened his mouth, then closed it, like the truth had knocked the breath out of him. The second officer held his device closer, reading quietly, not arguing. Officer Renee Clark didn't look surprised. She looked finished. "Mr. Ruiz slid the security log and the incident sleeve into a folder. He pressed the papers flat with his palm, like he could smooth the night back into order. Tyler tried to twist his shoulders, jacket pulling tight across his back. "That is not my name," he said, voice cracking at the edges. "That's not me." Officer Clark kept her tone calm. "Then it will be sorted out in custody," she said. The lobby had grown a small crowd without anyone deciding to gather. 2 flight attendants stood near the elevator, arms crossed. The rain-soaked guest hovered by the doors, frozen with his suitcase. The night clerk watched like she was memorizing every second for later. I stood against the brochure rack, tote bag clutched to my side. My stamped envelope pressed into my ribs through the fabric, a stupid little rectangle of paper that suddenly felt like armor. Tyler turned his head, trying to find my eyes. "Tell them," he said, softer now. "Hannah, please." I didn't step forward. I didn't have a speech. I just shook my head once. Highlight line. I didn't argue. I let the record speak. The second officer guided Tyler toward the glass doors. The blue lights stuttered across Tyler's face, then the wet pavement swallowed him. Rain hit the sidewalk hard, loud like gravel. Officer Clark stayed inside with me. She picked up the clear sleeve with the incident number and held it out. "Take a photo," she said. "Send it to your employer. Keep it simple." I pulled out my phone. My hands were steadier now. I snapped the picture, then checked the timestamp. 12:37 inches the morning. I checked again out of habit. Same numbers. I forced myself to stop. "Mr." Ruiz came around the counter, voice low and careful. "I'm sorry," he said. "We should have never issued a key off a story." He looked tired, like the night had aged him. The front desk supervisor stood behind him, face pale. "We're going to retrain," she said quickly, like that could erase what happened. Officer Clark nodded once. "Make sure the audit is saved," she said. "And document the social media post too." I swallowed and opened my messages. My phone was lit up with notifications. A few coworkers had seen the email thread. One friend had sent a screenshot of Tyler's post, already spreading past the hotel's location tag. I didn't respond to anyone yet. I asked Mr. Ruiz for a fresh room. He hesitated, then nodded. "We can move you," he said. "Different floor." He handed me a new key sleeve with my room number written in black ink. I took it with both hands. In the elevator, the mirror showed my face, shiny-eyed and pale. I didn't recognize myself for a second. Then I did. It was me, only sharper around the edges. When the doors opened, I walked faster than I meant to. I unlocked the new room, stepped inside, and shut the door. I tested the deadbolt. It clicked clean. I tested it again. Then I stopped. Highlight line. The deadbolt clicked, and I finally believed it. At 6:15 a.m., my alarm went off like it always did. I washed my face in cold water. I pinned my hair back. I set my conference badge on the desk like a normal person. I called my corporate travel coordinator as soon as the office line opened. I kept my voice plain. I referenced the incident number. I said there was a police report. I said hotel security had documentation. There was a long pause on the other end. Then she said, "Thank you for telling us immediately." That was all. No blame. No lecture. Just a process moving the way it was supposed to. Later that morning, Mr. Ruiz emailed a short correction to the guests who had been copied on Tyler's complaint at check-in. It didn't sound emotional. It sounded like policy. It named the security supervisor and the date. It said the hotel had verified unauthorized access and reported it properly. Tyler's post disappeared by noon. Either he deleted it, or someone told him to. I didn't celebrate. I just felt tired. 2 weeks later, I flew again. Different airport. Different weather. My boarding pass was warm from the printer when I took it from the agent's hand. I sat by the window and watched the cabin door close. I didn't check the time twice. When we landed, I went home and pulled the stamped envelope from my tote bag. I opened a drawer in my kitchen, the one that always jammed if you pulled too fast. I slid the envelope inside, flat under the incident photo printout. Then I closed the drawer slowly until it caught and clicked shut.